Hey everyone, welcome back to Car Flash at the garage where auto myths go to die and real road truths get resurrected. If you're new here, this isn't a place where we regurgitate press kits or drool over badge clout. This is where steel meets scrutiny, and only the bold survive. So buckle up, because today we're diving deep into a legendary nameplate reborn as a 2026 Ford Thunderbird. Exterior now. Before we even turn the key, let's talk about what makes this car such a big deal. The Thunderbird is a name that's dripped Americana since the 50s, a mix of boulevard cruiser, muscle car, and personal luxury all rolled into one. But for 2026, Ford isn't just resurrecting a relic, they've reimagined it for the modern road warrior, blending retro DNA with future-forward engineering. This isn't just a name revival, it's a full-blown reinvention. Let's start with the exterior. When this thing pulls up, it doesn't whisper nostalgia, it growls it. The front end is unapologetically bold. Ford didn't try to chase current trends with pinched grills and angry headlights. Nope, the 2026 Thunderbird stares you down with a wide, horizontal front fascia, a modern interpretation of the classic big nose. It's sleek, low-slung, and dominated by a thin LED light bar that stretches across the width, tying both retro and futuristic elements in one clean stroke. The sculpted hood is just enough muscle to hint at the beast underneath without screaming for attention. And those signature dual air intakes, they're functional, not just flair. Slide to the side and things get even more interesting. This is where the Thunderbird really flexes its new identity. The long hood, short rear deck proportions are still here, but there's a new athleticism baked in. A coupe that's got the presence of a GT cruiser, but the attitude of a street predator. The fastback roofline flows seamlessly into the rear, and the way the side panels are sculpted, and you get this illusion of movement even when it's parked. And then there are the wheels, a 21-inch alloys on the higher trims, with a turbine-style design that pays homage to the past but feels entirely fresh. Now let's check out the rear, and Ford clearly wasn't messing around here either. The taillights are a direct nod to the classic Thunderbird DNA, but reworked in razor-sharp LED strips that pulse when you unlock the car. There's no excess chrome or fake vents, just a clean, confident rear profile with a pronounced light bar, subtle spoiler, and quad exhausts that promise business. Even the Thunderbird emblem has been modernized. It glows faintly in red as night, giving it an almost electric mystique, even though this bird still burns fuel. Interior. Crack open the door and you're immediately welcomed into a space where retro soul meets luxury tech. The interior is a masterclass in balance. It's not trying to compete with European minimalism or Tesla-y everything. Instead, it gives you a cockpit that feels designed for a driver who still loves to drive. The dashboard is low and wide, wrapped in suede, leather, and brushed aluminum depending on the trim. A floating 15-inch infotainment screen sits front and center, a snappy, customizable, and thankfully still paired with physical knobs for volume and climate. What's brilliant here is that Ford didn't forget the Thunderbird's original mission: comfort. The front seats are deep, supportive, and draped in quilted leather with Thunderbird embroidery stitched into the headrests. You've got ambient lighting that wraps around the cabin like a neon trail, a 14-speaker Bang & Olufsen audio system that turns every drive into a concert, and a digital cluster that morphs based on your drive mode, from calm and classic to aggressive and performance-focused. Rear seat space. Let's be real, this is still a 2+2 coupe. You can fit 2 adults back there, but they're not going to stretch out. That said, Ford added just enough legroom to make short drives bearable, and for kids or weekend trips, it's more than functional. The trunk, surprisingly usable, about 14 cubic feet, ain't not bad at all for this kind of coupe profile. Let's talk performance, because this Thunderbird doesn't just look the part, it drives like it means it. Ford is offering 3 engine options depending on the trim. The base model rocks a 2.7-liter twin-turbo V6 putting out a healthy 355 horsepower. That's more than enough to make your daily drives feel like low-key track sessions. But if you're hungry for more, the mid-tier trim brings in the legendary 5.0-liter Coyote V8. tuned to deliver 480 horsepower. It sounds incredible, raw, mechanical, no fake engine notes, just pure, snarling Detroit muscle. But for those who want the modern muscle experience turned up to 11, Ford has dropped in a performance hybrid system on the top trim, a 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6 mated to an electric motor, delivering a combined 590 horsepower, 0 to 60, just under 3.7 seconds. And it doesn't just go fast in a straight line. Add the adaptive magnetic ride suspension, rear-wheel steering, and launch control make it a legitimate track toy when you want it to be. Yet, it cruises like a Grand Tourer when you dial it back. The steering has weight, the chassis is communicative. The brakes, especially the Brembos on the performance trims, inspire confidence. It doesn't feel like an old-school muscle car trying to act modern. It feels modern, and not just by numbers, but in the way it responds, in the way it rewards a skilled driver. Now let's talk about something everyone wants to know: price. The 2026 Ford Thunderbird starts at around $52,000 for the base V6 model. Move up to the V8, and you're hovering around $61,000. But the fully loaded performance hybrid, that's knocking on the door of $78,000, and honestly, it's worth every penny if you want something that can turn heads, dust off sports cars, and still keep your spine intact on a road trip. Plus, you get Ford's Blue Cruise semi-autonomous driving tech, 360-degree cameras, and a suite of safety features that make this not just thrilling, but practical too. So, where does that leave us with the 2026 Thunderbird? It's not just a nameplate revival, it's a full-circle moment, where heritage and innovation collide. Ford didn't just build a car to honor the past, they built one that respects it, challenges the present, and maybe even redefines what American performance luxury can look like going forward. This Thunderbird isn't about nostalgia, it's about presence, style, performance, identity. It doesn't need to be the fastest, it just needs to feel like nothing else on the road, and that, it absolutely succeeds. So, would I recommend it? If you want something different, something that respects where cars came from but isn't afraid to carve a new lane out, the 2026 Thunderbird is absolutely worth a test drive. It's not for everyone, and that's the point. It's for those who get it. Thanks for riding with Car Flash, where the badge doesn't make the car, the car earns the badge. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, slam subscribe, and drop a comment. What do you think of the Thunderbird's comeback? Is Ford on the right track, or is this bird just flying too close to the sun? I'll be in the comments with the raw truth. Until next time, stay sharp and drive honest.